welcome back to the channel. Back at BikePark Wales today. The wrist is not feeling too bad. If you watch my previous edits, you'll know I've been having trouble with it. So, but yeah, up at BikePark Wales, and the sun is shining, the birds are tweeting, so it should be a rad day. So today, just going to ease into the day, and I thought it'd be good to show you all the blue trails. So I'll do it as per the trail map in the order of difficulty, and that way you'll be able to see how easy and hard they get. So let's get up to the top, and I'll get you into the first one. So anyone that's not been to BikePark Wales before, it's an absolutely awesome bike park. There's over 50 trails, starting on green trails all the way up to purple pro lines, and the difficulty scale is set out into, you've got flow trails, technical trails and blend trails, which is a mixture of both flow and tech. And then any trail that's marked with a plus sign means you're going to get your wheels off the ground. So they've got bigger gaps, bigger jumps, bigger drops, just basically anywhere you're going to get airborne. So keep your eye on the plus signs if you are more into your jumps and stuff. As this is a blue trail, most of these are in the flow section, but there is free tech trails that we'll come on to later on. And the easiest one, easiest blue trail is actually called Wacker, but that starts near the bottom of the hill. So we're going to start this edit on Melted Welly because that's right at the top of the hill, and it starts as soon as you get off the uplift. You'll see there's a start ramp in front of you, and that's where a lot of the main hub point is for a lot of the trails. But you have got some other sections further on if you traverse across the hill, all signposted, and we'll come on to those later on in this edit. But as I said, Melted Welly, first sort of hub point that you get to, you'll see the signs for it, and it comes all the way down this left hand side. So yeah, show you that one now. Right. This is another good one to warm up on at the start of the day. Nice flowy. Just on my headset creaking today. Cheers. Another very long trail, this one. Stop talking, keep concentrating. A bit more blown out than they used to be. Oh, they've redone that one up. Need to redo a few more of them, I feel. Yeah, that's that one. So the next trail on the difficulty scale is called Belle, and it conveniently starts just at the end of Merthyr Welly, so it's a great run all the way down. So as you get to the fire road at the end of Merthyr Welly, you can either drop into roller disco, which I'll show you later on, or Belle, which comes all the way down this left hand side and actually joins to the lower section tunnel, which again is another hub point just for the lower section trail, so I'll explain those later on as well. Right then, this is Belle, which is another kind of well used one because it gets you back to the tunnel. So again, it gets a lot of traffic on this one. So as we're now down at the tunnel, you've got two more blue trails. You've got Norkle and you've got Bushwhacker I mentioned earlier on. So the main tunnel area is quite a central point, and you'll notice it. There's lots of trails going off it at the bottom section, and you've got a few options to either get back to the uplift or get back to the visitor centre. So Bushwhacker comes down the left hand side and takes you back to the visitor centre. You can even start on Norkle, and it's got another little cut off that takes you to the other side of the visitor centre. Or you can continue all the way down Norkle, which is quite a longer version of it, and that takes you right back down to the uplift point to take you back to the top of the hill. So I'll show you Bushwhacker first, and then I'll show you Norkle straight after, and you'll see both of those. Again, this is a well-used trail from the tunnel. Gets you back to the visitor centre. So a lot of people use this one. If you ride on it just before lunch, you get a smell of the burgers coming all the way up the trail. Gives you a little bit of a boost to get down there quicker. Yeah, cool little trail. And there we are, back to the visitor centre and the car park. Nice. So this one is one of the most ridden because it is from that tunnel bit. One of the most direct and easiest ways to the back to the uplift, so a lot of people do this one to get back to the uplift. Oh. Cheers. Give them a bit of spur. Sorry mate, it was a bit of a queue. There was just a bit of a queue, so I was just giving a bit of a gap.
Sorry about that.
There we have it. Yeah. So the next trail on difficulty scale is called Sixtapod, and it joins into Willy Waver, which I'll show you later on because that's another good top to bottom Sixtapod into Willy Waver. Very popular trail. It starts from that first sort of hub point where the uplift drops you off, but this time instead of going down left where Melted Welly was, you come down the right hand side, and this brings you all the way down that point, and then you can either join on to Willy Waver I've just mentioned or Merthyr Rocks. Right then. Quite a popular warm-up trail with a Sixtapod. Quite rough actually. There's a bit of love on some of them corners. Bone shaker. Right. Get into the trees. A little bit damp on some of these corners still. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Oh, it's weird, like in the trees, it's like still a little bit greasy, and then you come out here and then it's like super dry and loose. Got the arms and legs going. Whoa. Yeah. Ooh. So the next trail is quite a short trail actually, just called the Funnel. You could link this in after Sixtapod because it does start on the middle fire road. You just have to do a bit of a short climb up and then you'll see it on the right hand side. And this comes down and it joins onto Belle, which I showed you earlier on, and will take you back to the tunnel area. Yeah, man. Just a little short one this, still fun. That is rougher than it used to be. Nice. Ooh. Well, strap yourself in because the next hardest trail is called Terry's Belly. This was once the longest blue trail in the UK at 4.6 kilometres. It's now been tipped by Blue Dune in Scotland. That's a mighty 5.3 kilometres. But you access Terry's Belly from the main start point where the uplift drops you off. You traverse across the top. You'll see signs for stuff like Pandora's Rocks. You'll go past the start point for Uckervie and Boomslang. And then you get to the next start point, which has got 50 Shades of Black, Pandora's Rocks and Route Manoeuvres and Terry's Belly. This bit of Terry's Belly used to be called the South Side Link, but now they've renamed it to be the start of Terry's Belly. So you follow that down, you'll get to the Quarry Skills area, and then you go up the little fire road a bit, and you've got Terry's Belly and Popty Ping dropping in here. Popty Ping you can go down, I'll show you that later on, and you can kind of keep looping that back round. That's a bit of a jump trail. But yeah, Terry's Belly comes all the way down this side. You'll follow it all the way down, and then it ends up at the worst place. It is the longest to climb back up, but yeah, you get to the bottom. You just head up the little path at the opposite the road and get back up to the uplift. But yeah, absolutely knackering trail, so I'll show you that now. Get them quads going. Wow, she's loose. Well, I haven't done this top section for, well, God knows how many years actually, because we normally do ping down into it, so I can't actually remember what's on this top bit. Let's show you guys what it's about. It is a long flowy blue, but actually it's a little bit rough today, to be fair. Wow. Oh yeah, this is where we'd normally join onto it, you see, so if you do Popty Ping you can come down and join onto that bit. Once again, apologise for the headset today, creaking about. At this point you start to feel it in the quads a little bit. In and out of the trees from damp sort of corners into loose, dry, stony corners. And you think, oh, it's alright, we're nearly there, and you are not nearly there. It is a long ass trail. Flies about today. So like now it's completely different to when you were just in the trees, super loose in these corners. Like someone's been out and put Kitty Litter down. Just needs a couple of them berms building back up again. When it first opened, I'm sure it was a lot bigger than berms, and they just hold onto the corners a bit better. saw that at the last minute then. Little cheeky kicker on the left. And this is the worst bit if you're on the normal bike. This last bit of traverse, you definitely know about it after doing all that downhill. You've got to traverse and then you're right at the bottom of the uplift, so just be wary of how far this one brings you down. It brings you the furthest down from if you were on the uplift. Yeah, a lot easier on the e-bikes because this is tiring this last little bit. Wow, nice. So this next trail is a short but sweet trail called Roller Disco, and you can access this at the end of Melted Welly, the trail that we did at the very start of the day. Just to the left of Belle, it just cuts in, and it's just an alternative start and then joins onto Belle and then follows that all the way down to the tunnel. But yeah, great little trail. Right. Bloody loose today. Definitely something up with my headset, I feel. Oh, cheers. Yeah, that was Roller Disco. So the next trail is Willy Waver, and this is another classic. As I said earlier, it starts at the end of Sixtapod and is a great top to bottom run. So from that fire road, as you come out of Sixtapod, you'll see it straight in front of you, and yeah, you've got Merthyr Rocks just to the left, but get yourself in Willy Waver. Great little warm-up trail after Sixtapod, and it comes all the way back down right at the uplift. So yeah, spot on. Right, here we go. Let's get into it. Super fast and loose, this one. Oh. God, it's like the berms are destroyed on that bit. Long trail from the top there. Well, and they join it in from Sixtapod at the top. It's probably fly. These are getting rough. This is super smooth. Whoa. Yeah, that's quite rough, isn't it, for a blue? Well, we're finally at Popty Ping. You'll notice this is the first of the blue trails with a plus sign, so that means you're going to get airborne. But yeah, it's just a short little trail. It's all tabletops, no gaps. And you get to it where Terry's Belly entered past the Quarry Skills area. It's just to the left of Terry's Belly there, and you can keep looping all the way around, go up the fire road and just keep sessioning it until then when you're done you can head down Terry's Belly or Hot Stepper, which is a red. Right, this is Popty Ping, just a short jump line, not a famous one because it's the biggest blue jumps here. You can see I might not even clear this. Oh, just tagged it. But yeah, it's a good one to get used to some of the bigger jumps on the red trails. Just tagged that last one. That's a good trail, that, isn't it? Oof. So this brings us on to the newest blue trail at BikePark Wales. This is Double Barrel. Only just recently opened and it's got a plus sign. So yeah, that means you're going to get airborne. It's going to have some jumps on it. You can access this if you want to stay on the blues from Melted Welly which is the first one we started, to the fire road. Follow that fire road all the way down and you'll see it on the left hand side. Or if you do Vicious Valley, which is one of the easier red trails, it's a bit closer, you just turn right. Instead of dropping into Surfing Bird, turn right and then you'll see Double Barrel there. And this goes all the way down, joins onto the end bit of Belle we did earlier on, and back to the tunnel area. Alright, new trail, Double Barrel. Which is a blue plus, got some bigger jumps. Oh. Oh. Not quite. Oh, I'm not going to get that, am I? Oh, no. I struggle to commit to stuff like that. Oh. Oh, a bit more my size. Oh, wind come then. I wasn't even going to attempt that. Well, I wasn't anyway, to be fair. It wasn't massive. Oh, that's alright, joins up to Bluebell. So that's all the flow trails covered, and now you've just got a few little tech trails. You've got Off-Grid, Fforest Bump and Merthyr Rocks. Off-Grid and Fforest Bump actually continue off from each other, so you start on Off-Grid. If you at the main uplift point where Melted Welly starts, you actually start on the first bit of Melted Welly, and then you'll see Off-Grid just cuts in on the right hand side when you enter the trees. Go down Off-Grid, you'll get to a fire road, and then you'll see Fforest Bump straight ahead of you, and that just comes down right to the bottom of Melted Welly. You'll do the very last bit of Melted Welly, and that takes you to the fire road where you've got Roller Disco and Bluebell. Easy, lad. Right, so to get to Off-Grid, you have to come down the start of Melted Welly, and then you'll see it in the set as we go into the trees. It's on the right, and it's just a bit more natural and rootier than some of the other blues. Turn right, oh, down here, mate. You can meet us at the end of that. So it's just a little bit more tighter, not quite as flowing as Melted Welly. It's like a little blue opener for people who've not really done drops and stuff before. Got a few little drops in it. Yeah. I think it'll come back. Wow. Again, Fforest Bump is a little bit more natural. Get them legs going! Wow. Loose corner. Pull the legs off. So here we have it, the final blue trail is called Merthyr Rocks, and as you guessed it from the title, it's got a lot of rocks on it. So you access this one from the middle fire road. It's a good alternative after Sixtapod instead of doing Willy Waver, so it starts just to the left of Willy Waver and you come all the way down the hill, and then you'll join the very final bit of Willy Waver at the fire road bit, and that'll take you all the way back to the uplift. Where are you going, G? Oh, I'm not warmed up yet for this. Sorry, mate. Wow. This'll wake you up, boys. Woohoo! Bone shaker. Right, that is it. Absolutely wicked session up here at BikePark Wales with the boys, and that is all the blue trails as of May 2026. That is every blue trail in order of difficulty as per the trail map. So yeah, if you guys have not been here before, it'll give you a good idea how the trails step up through the difficulty and the rankings. And but by the time you watch this, the guys are always digging, so there might be a few more blues added to the roster anytime. But yeah, absolutely wicked session. Hope you enjoyed that, and it gives you a good insight into the blue trails here at BikePark Wales. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.